Mane fa say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there osia dem yopo.
Mention what here for. I am not sure sir the outcome of Wontumi case, you know, new to Obia. Because Obia will follow the trajectory of the court proceedings, you know. Now people were convinced I eventually no state in me approve the case beyond every reasonable doubt. And that could be inferred from the posture, the conduct, and the subsequent pronouncement by the lead lawyer. Not only due to me in our court. At some point in time, he realized that the case was a bad case. And, you know, he wanted to flip the conversation and make it emotional, the NDC MPP. But unfortunately, backlash in a ban so because it became clear that we abandoned the client at the middle of the sea. Abra, your friends say waves, you know, are very high. And that was quite obvious because Abra or is it, you know, not or is it on the premise of Nyansa Sembi a pass then Ghana for who agree say, oh, as some now can in a show, but free court and also where they Jumano suddenly now are transforming into a PR. Anonymous TV radio interviews. There's had an or yeah, bear 20 agenda. Na dear wahe. Koko asem na ye di ne kra enwie. Wontumi na afa wadwuma sa wo se wonye biema. Onam Peace FM, onam Angel FM, onam your friends Amohai CTV, onam ha onama. Just or grantee interview. The motive was one, just to flip the conversation and make it look like NDC for which hunted the client. But issues na year before him no. They didn't. And for me, so we had their question in the face. I wouldn't be powerful. Almost say, Mundi a 7 man or 1. And this will be blemuno. Say MPP for will be blemuna. Cancel the representation in Amwano. Yeah, my men starting free say. So we had amendment. We had act na. Ye did this act 703. Yeah, amended in 2019 na. So we share sa particular. Your friend saying legislative way we have that particular your friend saying act in the man a very dangerous act. very almost you because as Samrano emfa obi o to galamse nkwa na kokotum na mom o say so we instigate or cancel or procure or facilitate or be man contravene any of the provisions therein. Oh, as I will jail 15 or least 15 or highest 25. That is how dangerous it is. So it's not just about who to galamse. If you facilitate, instigate, or cancel, or be utu, or be for crass, or go to galamse, that is the dangerous law. They say the same MPP government na and amende and audiato. And I did you be some yachewa. You look at the sentencing regime of that particular crime na yede amount now I so at to 1 and I'm say omunye serious intino yada some kese we ato so 6 count Emma ayada attorney general through the deputy AG my member about so he has done quite a good job what me agina sa asem we so I'm making the case nyina afra witnesses na se for eduru Wontumi so say yes bra na onsem no so be ka wonsem. Now, it's a cross-examination now by if we lawyer no say, your friend say we are filing for submission of no case. Do you know what that means? It means a state in some no one can in Sabia and Quasasam, so be a judge in Montungu. Really? And that was what they did. So they did not prepare for defense in the ongoing case. And the Abra judge the boss asked him to go to Musa Ayaka. And at that point, you know, I find our home pull, I'm a defense. That defense will be jittery. And this a would see the anaya costing of rare witnesses almost by 8. 4 na buy. I told there then on one then who can't once on why witness. Because other people are expecting you we are the buyer. Then the partner of buy and on bedia dance man or mobile. They didn't come as a witness on Babwa to build Wontumi's case. You see by yourself so a mining expert. And you know bachelor court, you know, what constitutes mining, illegal mining. So nothing he said in the court, you know, and the favor Wontumi. Then I say resec your friend saying Papa na no director of regional minister no so buy also on there was a one time there was an issue and all the military for quite so the account by these people none and into the benefit of Wontumi said assembly se call and a court no judge na tenase no na the ruling na say based on all the enumerations are cost no nyina no wa find Wontumi guilty. And people are arguing, say, a company na kwaya adwuma na ba ne say na ye Wontumi. Here is the catch. Your friends say first you must know say your friends say who incorporate company na so perpetrate crime the court no was the right to pierce the veil. I'll be you more free the veil of incorporation, you know, ultimately free her. But in this particular case, you know, the judge did not have any difficulty piercing the veil of incorporation. But so we have proceeding is that Wontumi say or a company no na branch be na tey I'm a friend Kwame Antwi be seen there obi anim ba bia woni picture ko obi so you can assume say or a fake person. But again you be say say sa Kwame Antwi wo here Wontumi say 2021 2022 na Kwame Antwi friend na ka kire ne say o tu kwan okosiki greener pasture until already we free chroma. So what it means bone na ya che wa wudi ni 2024 no Kwame Antwi nka ho you become a sole person so that veil of incorporation in as any hope any decision be a contamine take bia no you as a person but na you too and a judge na ka say omon sign ni a functioning board of directors mo ye adwuma ye betimi ka say okay enya wo na wo ye board of directors no the mad decisions na say for no sa board of director bia ni ho a functioning then it becomes you. Then we come back to the issue na Wontumi case na say any nyina ye different from case na ya chene dada no. That's what people should know. Sa case na Martin Pebu no report ye na say for no nyina no and na ye Wontumi ne personal involvement in Galamsey. This particular issue here can started on the 16th of April 2025. Abra police for call Western region mo kwache that Ogumni Henry you see on a honor case in started free and through interrogation and now okay so assassin Wontumi na de mame say men to Galamsey na me fantua me hoka na me fanya reclamation na say na nso fa yekokosi he tumi be na wo na se na ekoba ya enti ebeduru court no na MPP for argument na say state no entimi nchi Wontumi because say you say you transfer mineral right it should be a written document actually say nkrata ni me de abra wo sign me de amount ya ho na unza san nipa binim ko school kwa adwen ka ho nyansa nka ho because Wontumi's dealing with the gentleman Ogum aye your friend saying clandestine arrangement aye no sumase because only right so the mo obi enti se obi won so obi a osma ya se kotwa tire breme na metua aka na one obi asensan krata da obi sumo obi aso nkotwa tire mra na osensan krata ana am Robert so mo boss no tifie na osma sa ne nkora nkobokoro no a won se ono mo san krata da so that is it's a clandestine your friend saying arrangement ye ewo sumase so you might not find any your friends and krata paper trail bia but so we kwan a your friends say section 14(1) of the your friends saying of the act 703 na ya captain na it's not just about transfer through documents and as for what your son name ni nyina wie ni nyina na obeka say minim say if you have that particular portion that TV so say ga obetime anya read am man ka be say chawa de bi 14 na nkasa no 14(1) yeah 14(1) no
991 okay my measure first one
yes enti what tron in such a okay I think that metime no 14(1) where 99 the sentence no
where the other sentence no
yes
my measure 14(1)
check 14(1) na me nchira wade bi a lot of people are missing and say uhu sa there na you will understand the year canon enti say wo ha waka transfer any other means ni nyina no e na wasen abeka I use a residual phrase. As a phrase in a friend catch all. Any other arrangement biana the framers no I visage has been dealt with by that catch all or residual phrase na that particular asie no And that is where this particular arrangement, verbal, clandestine, surreptitiously done, not falling within, because at the end of the day, somebody has been permitted to go and mine on a land that only permission. And that is all that it means. So you don't need to transfer in the form of a written deed and sign any other arrangement be a can be no say ya chewa you fall within. And until that particular argument and an MPP for advance no judge no botugu ye. And again, a could a point to be a abra new judge and friends attaching and buy
new lawyer.
Yes, Oba he wanted to play games. And I'll say, so we have article.
Okay, 14.1. No.
Okay.
I'll say a mineral right shall not.
Okay.
In whole.
Okay.
Or in part.
Okay.
Be transferred.
Okay.
Assigned.
Okay.
Mortgage.
Okay.
Or otherwise.
Okay.
Encumbered.
Yes.
Or
encumbered or dealt with. Yes.
In a manner without the prior approval in written.
Yes.
Of the minister.
Yes. So encumbered with no a limitation on the right that has been given to you. So it's a strict limitation on it or dealt with. So any other arrangement be a obey na any mortgage, any transfer, any way no. And those arrangements in no where your residual phrase are a catch what as what the net at all. And it may not be transfer, it may not be mortgage, it may not be, but any other anything that falls within that incumbent or dealt with phrase now, a catch-off phrase now. So you cannot go and sit on TV and say there was no document, there was no deed in the judge. That is why judge say Sabi more can a poor argument. And again, and I'll buy and I'll say your friend is 99 when so waiting there to swank a baby the pa.
I know your first one.
Yes, a honor sentencing regime. And this is a sentencing regime now.
Be a mukakra.
Mananya Cassia, and and the attaching case in the say. So, what kind controversy na ya charge Wontumi say why na? We ya Wontumi say why na? Say, what kind bonina wedding a whole sentence, you know. So, what that particular sentence, we have Article 99 2B now. One for punishment and shall no. And so he was going to invoke the interpretative jurisdiction of the Supreme Court by Article 130.
Yeah.
Our reference Article 1911. 1911. It say answer na be punish you be no. Say I want mrama ye define it. And in his head, you know, he's telling you say 2B, no, there is no punishment. But obia onim kwanya parliament a phrasing way bia na say what kind to your friend saying B and C na there or say act or instigate command facilitate encourages or in any way or manner purposely aid facilitate encourages or in or promote any act any act in respect of this act which a penalty has not been specified, or you see the word or. So the or no is a continue is that particular phrase B or the C, and the C comes with punishment. So attaching and say B no punishment in sha no enti yamfa Supreme Court na enko interpret.
Okay.
And my man say asema na okay because what follow parliamentary kwan on faso a omo church or munsem nyina no it's a matter of legislative construction, not an issue of your friend say emra no for to be wo. So it does not warrant any constitutional interpretation, because even the word or na esha ho no crash say either B or A no that is the same thing.
The same thing.
And punishment I ever see no is what should be imposed on anybody that offend B. So you don't need any constitutional interpretation. And a judge no to go here say there is no basis. And I reference a lot of articles, especially Act 30. So when you first why you say na parliament over the years I no ultimate sure because say na you can say where your friends be na or say a person who a person that is the two we believe. Does it make sense?
Two no kwajina ho say a person who
you see, does it make sense?
Exactly.
So the full act act no and they will see and the punishment no is attached to C.
To the C.
So the C will be the punishment where any of these things are ever imposed on you. But you cannot just go and say there is no punishment attached to the B and to say kasi ye general 99 we just which means I say no moody. But the judge was very magnanimous, kind enough to let all these things and ne ruling numa she took her time extensively discuss these things. I catch it say a legislative construction. There is no ambiguity. There is nothing that warrants the invocation of Article 130 of the Supreme Court. And for no, oboni you know to go here and a case a course so and a yesane. So first one, yes
Thank you, Davison.
Transfer deed. As a crata, a war idea dance Wontumi, and my catch say the Article 4, Section 14, deal with. You don't need to be in the written documents or transfer documents. After all, it's a criminal engagement and winning the paranoia. You will not find any paper trail in an enterprise that is criminal. So any sensible person will know say in such an arrangement there will be no way. And I want to be argument and say other man say Uncle Diakube. Na onsanya reclamation na court say okay that's fine na me ni ho na we su ni ho when I walk wasem. So I know the day I am going to base on circumstantial evidence to determine this particular matter, and circumstantial evidence is allowed in criminal matters because for instance wuni wukunada ade achi obia ya fa ne say bibia si wo room ho and normally cry a sex case and as anema ne ye obi se wona nada wo se wona ne nai yakọ room ho condom no ho ya yisu ya friend say sperms ne nasefo nyina peti gudamu a kire clearly say obi no obi ada even though ya mechew say oda wo so na wo da but circumstantially we look at all the available evidence and the fact say ya CCTV camera be ma bia ni ho fura sa be wura dam ho e ya won kwa na wone ne wo ho enti circumstantially it must lead to a single logical conclusion. There is no way around it. For instance, obi kunipa, for you to pin obi say wa commit murder say there must be death. And this over here, and then nipa kunipa person fa kwan bia so koto body no to twa na ohye no sabe ya because without the body you cannot pin the person. But there has been instances that without the body court no based on circumstantial evidence leading to just one conclusion say ade a we ye there niema asi kari niema asi nyina the only conclusion we can una even without the body the court can base on that and give judgment, and that's exactly what happened in Wontumi's case because what the man say onkoye reclamation obi a onya bi da kra nim say it is one of the most expensive,
very, very expensive
undertaking. And this is what the man so onya your friend is saying. Uncle Diakuba, your friend is a sikabe na de man nero. Nipa no so kan che say o si mintu galam say na me mfante meka. Ni mintu galam say na me mfante meka no may not be enough. To galam say Wontumi kosesa ni mfidi a odi to galam say begu asase no so. Ama abrantia na ogum no o wadamfo oton excavator. I was in Fidiano and so out of to galamsey. Emma Wontumi kotua eka. Sa excavators ka. And your of course occupy excavator and dam for catch and say, Wontumi ba when she ask any now. And yes, I was so. And ogum no quack so and son orgy excavator that could wound assassin so aquacutu galamsey no. Do cast a winning na. And if the court is basing on circumstantial evidence, not because Wontumi to galamsey. But all the surrounding evidence in United say you facilitated, you instigated, and have quoted act. Your friends are section 99B, natural say you instigate, you facilitate, you cancel. So it is not a matter of Wontumi ankasa to galamsey. Wontumi ankasa to galamsey case, I don't know.
And we are turned on the forest,
Wontumi ankasa to galamsey no ho.
Yeah.
And then Akufuado echo yi ni free ne na se for no. But where you say or se obi kutupa. Amana ye and emra no say we show say we even me froba dem me too say kutu galamsey kura na metimi support in any way with credible evidence. I'm entitled to go to jail for 15 years and between 15 to 25. So it's not wakojina wutu galamsey and beside everything, assassin a kana semno is a bona fide property of who? Taba Wontumi registered in his name. enti wo property and I woto no bi to galamsey na wonim and what be atum say won no arrangement what the amano say onye kube there is no evidence e kire say kube na nipa no bia na o man one city enti sika ben na nipa no nso no aye prosecutors no were very smart to convert him to a prosecution witness. And that is allowed aye amanfo e ka say nipa no mu to galamsey no adentre ye je o na aban no tam etan Wontumi ntia. Let me explain. In a criminal trial, that is allowed.
Yeah.
So we call US and then say omukwachi air chapel from your friends Mexico, Edinco America could dinner sem. Operations na no more na a clandestine operation. Nobody has ever caught your friend air chapel okra cocaine. But he was the campaign. But obian who so okra your friends cocaine da. Ni nkrofo na omode ko mochichi omo na no ya chi omo so ukura cocaine enti omo no ya guilty.
Yeah.
But America na say only evidence a e kira say papa na nkasa na eye enti no they turn those a ya chi omo with cocaine into witnesses by letting them go free and giving them evidence ebetimi aboa amomo lay campaign na nkasa. So that is allowed. And so most of the security people no omo ankasa kunipa the security omo and the transport cocaine na so omo all the dirty work ni nyina no most of them went free because they testified against their own boss because that is the only way you can get. President Mahama eba no I say ahia forma na omo call to galamsey site ba dey na ya chine na ya jeni no anya the target no we want the real campaigns. And no targeted the same campaign. 2024, Godfrey, the dame back actually say, Oko Eastern Regional Loan, 1 year. With the Eastern Regional Loan, what jailing nipa 187 for galamsey. Sankro for 187 yeah. A here for ma badi. Ya china unikama for ni ya jailing for political trophy. But this time round, no. Sir, I hear for 28 on the state and say they are no longer going to prosecute those people. You use as a witness to go after the campaign, just like it's done elsewhere.
Yeah.
So it is not because Obitai Wontumi, it is because this time round, the prosecution focus is on the campaign.
Because they are the sponsors.
Exactly, because
it's called the 12.
Assassin ye ogum there. And I would see a conversation there because now Wontumi kotuya excavator ka. And I wouldn't wait so. Ye kwa to go na area ya che. Fabiye reclamation ma me asase a me ma say no. So it's an admission that one kasa assassin kwa what to galamsey wo so.
What to ase na wie.
Exactly. So wo hwe sa nsem we nyina na ni nyina beboa no na ekikire Wontumi kon oyi ne ho anyeye. Nje lawyer no hu sa na quickly e say ofanyansa kwan so no dwane ja no. E na kofa attach yan by no so no games no play around. Enti na judge no ka say there were a lot of gray areas in the submissions that we make here or expected say. And can the lawyers no bet me I interrogate it further. I bring it closer to that particular matter. Yeah, judicial, your friend say your judicial arrangement na no. The judge no and your investigator. And you know why I don't say no until here. The more kekana no so and this elsewhere. The judge herself is an investigator. No will do independent verification and way. Your higher system no. Asama woko kind of court agent so abufo.
Yeah.
Judge no will not do any further checks. In some no more kekana and odi nyansa ne mmere to ho na odi ajeliu. And this na kokoye this I want to make you case here. At the end of the day you cannot blame the judge.
Yeah.
You understand? So for me I think that the judge did a good job because issue with the trial not started October.
Yeah.
Less than 1 year she's done with the matter. And do you know why I content them? And the lawyers na. Because yet to some of these high profile cases in Ancha Koran Kabenya about 4 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
But there are some cases where you also I will represent you be. Now when you could arrogant like we court to say I'm filing for submission of no case because state in some more kind of pass 17 but to go. Really? So they did not get time to prepare adequately for the defense. So by the time a judge no boss assembly to go and said there is a case to answer no na near na chichiromo so they use few days for their defense.
Yeah.
And the prosecution then the only thing the judge is left with is to come with what? Judgment. And I appear kubi and I'm not sure na Wontumi that jail and but they didn't help him. I am saying this on authority. And so what kind of judgment now? The only thing you take home judge no kind of say the lawyers am one in the judgment. And I say ye pie na chinta wonkoda muntam. And that's exactly what he did. So for me, I think there Wontumi case there. I have a basic principle. Remember, I can say when you are fighting with somebody, then the partner fall to the ground. You don't punch a person who is already on the ground. Wontumi the air can be an auntie. And finally, watching a bed or your friend said, "Russell, my sister command Garene Shito, but we are not call her."
What the convoy?
Yeah, Garene Shito, but tobacco, yeah, the command. Until Wontumi, he's out of the scope. But yeah, it's also a lesson to everybody. You see, I don't see this thing as Wontumi's case.
Yeah.
I see, so we a politician, wherever you find yourself. We are NDC, we are MPP. If you are in this government, this particular ruling should send certain shivers down your spine. And rather make kind of radio good say, you must be a fool to think the NDC will be in power forever.
Oh, yeah.
You must be,
I don't know what
you must be a big fool to think the NDC will be in power forever. Even if 20 years, the party will go back to opposition and somebody will come take over. And this way, idea na that's a what buying crowd decides to be near Gusua. You should know say they will come out. Wontumi koi ebi abedi achirebi. The only thing they betting abua and you Wontumi sentencing. A sentence na a come with deterrence as loud message to everybody. It doesn't matter who. And look at this, how funny this whole thing is. When Wontumi was all over fooling around this country, all side forest and then he has the backing of the most powerful person of the land at the time, the
president.
He went to Koforidua and cleared himself on Nyashi. Then he pushed all the investigative authorities away. The same powerful person is still Organa how. What is what me akasa? Because he has no power. And this is what is now buying was now oh President Madam oh Minya no or maybe or kwatena fie or fa for obi akra mfie no na ontumi nka hwe said akufo adote ho a enne yatam
ne doba
de na shaka ma na gare na okori wo nsawami ontumi nya ho hwe the same thing na beto. So it's a lesson. It is the lesson Wontumi there. Oh no he has never belonged to the political stage. He has never, because I didn't TV and crying and find politics. But MPP didn't say biakwa kodru baby atitia pansamintia. You will not have Wontumi kwan of us or kasa, kwan of us or yen neema say obey regional chairman. But that is just by the way. So he is going to where he rightly belongs. But those on the stage, it's a lesson. It's not just about Galamsey. It is also about wherever you find yourself. Because now you're setting the stage. Now, I'm not referencing what happened in South Korea. Almost sitting president last year or the jail. You're jailing for life. Or go back to the same country history of 2014, the sitting president was jailed. If you go back to Brazil, a sitting former president was jailed, Da Silva. And that is the realm we want to push to, where even the powerful will be held accountable for their state worship. And that kind of for that time, will be mine. So I'll say on money chrome. Ninja a huge indictment on us as people. Try in our bit to ensure that accountability regime will be strong and be steadfast. By uncompromising, very strong. And whoever that contravenes any of the established rules of engagement, will be dealt with accordingly. So for me, I think there won't to me case there is nothing wrong with that. They deserve one and in and they say to make case now for years now 40 years no double.
I say by concurrent.
Run it concurrently. So ne 40 years in the 20 years in the 20 years a more p to work can watch them. One BI 2 years.
One BI 2 years. Yes. With hard labor.
Yes. And the one BI 2 years. With hard labor. And the say okwa appeal. Now say onya one of the count revoked that another 20 years is hanging. That is what people are not making. I tell my command for one thing call count different counts and I jailing or home and do call now with me argue say mining right and then as if one wrong into there is another one. Another 20 years. And some of these counts independent of each other. You're by guilty be no one sentence. And do with me now 20 years back free man. That is another 20 years because I double 20 years no servo. And yes, you appeal. So answer appeal you need to cancel all the 6 count 2 na ejina so man 20 years. So the 2 no you need to make sure that you nullify it.
Yeah.
And that is going to be a hell of a
very
process.
Difficult
yes,
process.
I think they are open to appeal. And appeal process, and I don't know how they are going to argue. And we Attorney General and the Deputy Ambassador.
Yeah.
I think that they've done a good job because going into this particular matter, no, they didn't have any solid evidence. They relied on the prosecution witnesses, omufiri Wontumi side. And to say arrogance, na sabi enye jimia, ya nipa wone na ye adwuma, eba na san, and nipa na tiny against you.
Edi adanse
etia wo. Ni nyina kire saa akesesem na meyek because saa nipa no be ye wunyame at a point in time. You make sure say you get him to your side.
Yeah.
But me sure so friend ko catch some fan kwase amfiri no
na se ba ko yo ne ne chi omo bom yi ozo omo betena fam free Wontumi omo aka omo bo ne di aka free ni bi
exactly
enti won jimi yo no so
obo ne ho ban exactly and that's what they are doing enti nipa na ono no won no arrangement a wakotu excavator mana kotu ability it means that you won no binding arrangement.
Sure.
And to want to me convince nipa ama Attorney General free baby ono onim nipa no atime ba convince nipa na by the prosecution witness against you actually say human relational level no something actually went wrong because if he was able to win these witnesses to his side and can the state to have no case. If Wontumi was able to bring these prosecution witnesses to his side because they proved the case.
Yeah.
Because I know the guy is telling you say oboa or the mama said to galamsey. Na state ni ho Attorney General ni ho president ni ho court ni ho. Or so the mama said to galamsey. Wontumi say me the man so nya reclamation. And judge na say okay, we saw the man say for to galamsey. We say me the man say for to ya fan say reclamation. Me ni ho. So me be share the surrounding facts no na magina so hu why na e kan okore. And that's exactly what the court did. And first of all reclamation sika of the man so mfanya wo he.
Wa man bi.
Money be when say Omo Scout said there be now say me infant to galamsey na me infant meka when a court be believe no because reasonably so be reclamation it should be money again we say we need connection okotua excavator ka ama ne kotua part e no kwa na nya no kore omo ba che no na kwanta mining dan ya yasi akwanta mining emu na omugu enti obi a winnim no nya ma no kwan na ba say na ogu ma na oye paper transfer and as for is an unreasonable argument to make because my catcher say this is a clandestine arrangement that is done in a surreptitious manner. Suma say dark arrangement. You don't expect to have a paper trail. Sure. So the court will not even facilitate, it will not even avail his mind to that particular thing. So for me, I think justice has been done, and accountability na Ghana for can you say enka oral cases in one, but you see it's a regime of accountability being resurrected under John Dramani Mahama because at the end of the day my culture say NDC go back to the people for vote again omon ko $1 na omon hwe cedi omon ko bisa akromfo no mudi yesika no akromfo no mude omo say ya man no akromfo no mutu galamsey say ya japade no and Wontumi aye kana say me see, so party ba power na say windim nyansa wa hu odi hu agura asema benya no because you think you are all powerful
exactly
because apart from this Okoji road contractor ho asem yenwie ansa na Exim Bank okos fraud amanfo asen akoji loan enti sa wa ban ba power na say windim nyansa pe ba bi tena the mere fact say wura officer CEO no beka say oh mama contract no be very careful because you might be walking into your own grave. And that's exactly when money was coming. Look at a dia Wontumi asiasi Kumase. I say, na oko Kumase a. Because say young guys no more follow MPP a year koba demonstration. Single room crown we never been for within to. Any more expensive cars. And he did all these things because a regional chairman. For one kind of story, so buy no your security. Our chairman for the politics no no hombe boy and all of a sudden when ya sa we no o party for kwana boa be na wo de boa omo. So I know the day no or consawam na say wona wo so beji atoma demonstration na asefo a wankasa wo jajireje. For me I think that justice has been served and I'm not looking at Wontumi or jail and there obese at this point in time our family, our everything, we can only sympathize with it because say obia ojina na nan so pika sakese na na for and the awkward that bed fiance or your friend sense wam obi na be kire oni group na kwa the same toilet so na na for to be very honest with you but they say I am looking at the deterrence aspect, the message this thing is sending. we NDC ni wa ban mu a be careful because you say oko obi ayi ase
everything so when you was here be a go fund me man
you say oko obi ayi ase na ya deda no da
now I
you should know say
Dedi kama amena Pendream TV ase na so far so good say open online portal e wo Ghana nipa share nipa follow nipa comment here to my best of knowledge without any biases Pendream TV